Speaking of shows, this week we're debuting the new CD from Aftershock.
Yeah, not common that we do this anymore. We haven't done this in a long time.
Yeah, but George Mahalovic and our good friend Bill Peters, we've been friends for literally decades.
Sure.
And George Mahalovic, if you don't know him, he's a fantastic guitarist, just a underrated guy. He's on the plane of like a John Levin.
Yeah, he's a great player.
Yeah. So, he, even after Vic Hicks of Shock Paris, who he formed Aftershock with, departed the band, George did not want to give up on the idea of having the band Aftershock. Mm-hmm. And he has come back with a slamming new disc.
Yeah. Now, I know I like it, but I want your honest assessment. If you would, I'm going to let you keep one record. I'm going to let you keep this new one, or I'm going to let you keep Burning Chrome. Which one you keep?
Oh, it's the new one.
By far, right?
Oh, yeah. I love Burning Chrome. There's a couple songs on there that those are my go-to songs, like When Comes the Rain and stuff like that.
War Machine.
Yeah, but this one, just a smoking.
Yeah.
Smoking. And the title of the album says it all, Detonate.
Yeah. It's what I like best about it is that it's fast. And I'm like you. I loved the old Aftershock, and I love Vic. Vic's a really great guy. I know Vic, personally, as well as, through radio and whatnot. But Vic is a great singer. And what they were doing was great. But this is like faster and more furious and just more punch in the nuts.
It is.
It just fucking, there's no let up either. It's just like bam, and it's in your face for a half hour, 40 minutes, whatever it is. It's good shit.
This is the epitome of what I call a classic metal record.
Exactly. This is the classic metal sound.
Yeah, absolutely. So so far so good this year as far as some of the stellar releases.
Right.
So good stuff from Aftershock. We're going to have George Mahalovic, guitarist, on the show here in a little bit. Mm-hmm. And I haven't talked to George in, I'm going to say, at least 2 years, maybe 3 years. I had corresponded with him a little bit when he was, trying to find his direction with this new Aftershock.
Mm-hmm.
And I had put him in touch with our good friend Sammy Lee.
Okay.
Because, these two guys are very high caliber musicians in their own right, and they've got the right attitude and the right disposition. And, I thought, and at the time, I think George was looking for a drummer.
Right. Okay.
And at the time, Sammy was not doing Red Rain yet. Mm-hmm. And I thought, you know what, Sammy, great musician, good attitude, great guy. George, great musician, great attitude, great guy. Put these two together, I bet you they'll mesh.
Yeah.
Well, they did trade some phone calls back and forth and have some discussions and whatnot, and they did become, friends over the phone.
Okay.
And I could see something going on there, but distance, was a problem.
One's in Pennsylvania, one's in where's
Virginia. He's in Richmond,
Virginia. So yeah, that's a bit of a drive.
Yeah, but those two guys got along pretty well, as far as I know. I mean, Sammy would tell me, "Yeah, I talked to George this week. We were talking about this and that and whatnot." But as far as musicians go, I thought those guys would make a good team, and maybe they will. I don't know, somewhere down the road. But now Sammy's got Red Rain, which they're going to debut their CD here on the show, just like Aftershock.
Awesome.
He shot me a note this afternoon, or here in the chat room earlier, that Chip says we're ready to roll.
Okay, good.
So we're going to do something with Red Rain, but tonight we're going to do something with Aftershock. And so we'll talk to George about what's going on with the band. And I'm very curious because these guys don't have money.
Right, no.
But this record is like, bam.
It's solid. I mean, if you want to sit it next to, I don't know, Primal Fear or whatever, it sits well next to that stuff.
Sure.
Don't you think?
Absolutely.
It's good stuff.
Absolutely. So anyway, just to shift gears here, we got about 15 minutes before George comes on.
Yeah.
You did a couple of interviews for your book release.
More than a couple.
Well, I mean the ones that I've listened to.
Yeah,
and you were on Bill Peters' show last Friday.
Yeah, it was.
Then you did another Peters show. You did Kendall Peters' show.
Did Kendall Peters' show on, was that
Monday?
Yeah.
And you did Rock and Metal Revival.
Yeah.
And you did Loud, Drunk, and Angry, which debuts, tomorrow?
Today,
it was today. It was before the show.
Yep, I was listening to a little of myself because I'm a maniac.
Sure, but I want to talk about the Kendall Peters.
Okay.
All right. We know Kendall. She's called into our show a couple of times, and
sure.
She's a young gal in college, and she's made it very, very clear that prior to getting into radio, that she was very shy and did not, relish getting in front of a group or a crowd or public speaking.
Sure.
And she's got her own show, which you appeared on Monday.
Uh-huh.
And I thought she handled herself very well, had really good questions for you.
Yeah, I thought so.
And it wasn't a snore fest, and that's the thing with interviews a lot of the time, depending on who the interviewer is.
Mm-hmm.
It can sometimes just drag on and be a snore fest and just like, oh, come on,
Yeah, I did quite a few of those this week too.
But
I burned in an accident, huh? What's that like? Literally, that's a question I took this week. What's that like? You know what I said? I said it's kind of like going to the ice cream man and him handing you a melted ice cream sandwich.
Sure.
Swear to God, I got to get the audio from that one because he asked me a dumb question, so I gave him an equally dumb response.
Right.
But I need that one for our posterity.
Sure. Well, she handled herself well where you're concerned. She didn't seem to have it. She didn't seem to be intimidated at all. That had the mighty Chris Aiken of that mouthy bully of a guy on her show. I was
behaving, wasn't I?
You were. I mean, it was a very good interview.
Yeah, I mean that and believe it or not, that's one of the hardest things that I've had to do. And I literal number is I think 22 interviews in the last 2 weeks. That I've done all over the country and whatever.
Sure.
And the hardest thing that I've had to do the last 2 weeks is the FCC filter again. That is so hard now. It's like, I don't know if you listened to the Bill Peters one or not.
I'm the guy who taped it.
Oh, that's right. So you did listen to it. That's right. I'm sorry.
Listen to me. I taped it.
You taped it.
I recorded it.
All right, Moose. No, I got off a couple of MFs. I don't know if you caught that or not, but I didn't swear, but I just literally said MFs or effing or whatever.
Right.
And apparently on some radio now you can't even do that.
Really?
Yeah, because I talked to one producer out of a station in Alabama this week, and she gave me the rundown, and she told me no kind of references, no friggin', no effing, no. And I was like, is that like the law now? And she's like, yeah, that's kind of the FCC thing now, is that you can't infer curse words.
So are they just trying to kill terrestrial radio off altogether?
Apparently so.
Because I mean, if it's come down to that, and it's not that people aren't leaving terrestrial radio in droves anyway,
right?
You might as well just put a fork in it now.
I mean, dude, and believe me, and that was one of the worst interviews I think I've ever done. It was this station, and it was like morning radio, and it was one of those 7-minute blast things.
Yeah.
Where you just come in, they ask you 3 questions, and they're like, hey, well, the new book, it's out now. Hey.
Yeah, speaking of burning, let's.
Exactly. Yeah, that's about what it was.
Right.
It's the fucking worst. But the producer did tell me, she's like, you can't say this, you can't say that. And I was like, Jesus, God. Okay. So I went in and just did a kind of stale interview because I didn't know what I could say.
You can't say Jesus God either.
Probably couldn't.
Don't say that on my show either, Pally.
Yeah, pal.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. But the interviews that I did listen to, between Rock and Metal Revival, Kendall Peters show, Bill Peters show, I enjoyed Kendall's interview with you.
Yeah, she did a really good job. if I had any advice for her, which, she's doing her thing, and I'm not trying to tell her what to do or what not to do, but the only thing from me listening back to it that I would do is not be so locked into the list.
Yeah, just relax with your questions. Let me look on the list here. What was the next thing I was going to ask you?
Or just follow along with the guest and start with the list, but then lead to the wherever the conversation.
Sure, absolutely.
But you know what is she? 19, 20?
Yeah, she's like 19 or 20. Yeah.
I mean, dude, it took us 10 years of doing it before we got there too.
Yeah, no kidding.
No, but I thought that interview was good. Honestly, considering some of the real dog shit that I did this week with guys that make $250,000 a fucking year, Kendall did a much better interview.
Oh, absolutely. Well, we do a better job than 99.9%.
Oh, yeah. I would definitely agree with that.
Yeah, so, it's just talent, radio talent. The money that some guys get paid as opposed to what they really are worth. Mm-hmm. There's a big disparity there.
It's ridiculous, dude. And believe me, in these, I'll be the first one to admit, it's not easy to go into something where you don't know the person, the subject, whatever. And I know half of these interviews, if not almost all of them that I'm doing, the people haven't read the book.
Mm-hmm.
I know that.
Sure.
And that's fine, but I go into shit all the time that I haven't really digested. And, actually, I don't know if you agree or not, but to me, that's better. It's better for me because then I can just open up and ask questions because I haven't digested the whole product to where I know or I think I know something. And I know you and I have always said it. The interviews are about the artists and the reviews are about us.
Right.
And I like when I don't know anything about it where I could just start asking questions and see where it goes.
Sure.
But I don't know. I thought Kendall's was good. The best one that I've done so far, not to throw anybody as good or bad or whatever, but fucking Rob Kern, Omam's interview was fantastic. Him and I talked for an hour, and I literally looked up. I was like, holy shit. I thought we had been literally talking for 5 minutes.
Well, the thing is with Rob, he's of the same ilk.
Yeah.
And so you're with a kindred spirit there. So, Rob is a guy who gets it, and he's one of us.
Right, sure.
So it's like you and I doing this show and 6 hours blasting by, and you go, holy shit, it's over already?
Yeah, it's like, whoa, where'd that go?
Yeah, no kidding.
Exactly. But that was a fun one. Kendall's was a fun one. Rock and Metal Revival. Those guys are idiots. Jerry, I don't know what Jerry was smoking that day, but he was all over the map.
Yeah.
Which, it was fun. I've had a fun week of doing interviews and promoting books and selling books, and that's been fun this week.
Yeah. Has your deadline ended for autograph books?
Pretty much. I haven't taken it off the website yet just because I haven't had time.
Because I saw you had put a notice out there that I didn't know I forgot what the date was. But if you're listening to the show tonight, when is the deadline?
Well, if we get orders tonight, I'll sign them. But I have to take it off the website now because I'm actually breaching my contract with Amazon by selling them on my site.
All right. Well, you got that, kids. Tonight is last night to order a book that's personally autographed for you.
That's right, pal.
So tonight you need to order up if you plan on getting one that's autographed specifically for you. So hail and kill, pal.
Yeah. Did I give you one?
You did not.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, you said, I'm going to drop one in the mail tomorrow.
Oh, fuck.
Remember, I talked to you on Sunday on my way home.
Fuck. I have this list of things that I haven't done that I'm supposed to do. I will take care of that tomorrow. I promise. Because I have five other books up here that are signed that I have to mail too. So I promise I will take care of that tomorrow.
Not a big deal. I'm not going anywhere as far as I know except for L.A. this week.
It is a big deal. I got to give you something to read on the plane.
There you go. Yep. On the way to L.A. And I guess Bob Nobandian's going to call in tonight too, huh?
Yeah, Bob. Bob's going to call in like an hour or so.
Okay. All right, I'm going to see Bob later this week for the second screening of the Inside Metal series, LA Metal Explodes.
Yeah.
And I'll be out there hobnobbing with Bob and various rock stars who appeared in the movie as well as not in the movie.
Now, will you be doing Spreaker broadcasts?
It's hard to tell. I don't know exactly how the setup is going to work or where I'm going to be or what, if it's going to be conducive to that. But if I could slip something in there, I definitely will.
Okay. Yeah. And you'll for sure call in, I'd imagine.
Oh, yeah. I'll call in on Saturday night. Yeah.
That'll be fun.
Sure. Call in from the Rainbow or something.
Right. Yeah, because isn't that the night that you're going to go see Armored Saint?
Well, I understand that the Armored Saint Metal Church show is sold out on Saturday night.
Okay.
And they apparently are going to play Friday night at another venue that is not sold out.
Okay.
And so I may be seeing that on Friday rather than Saturday.
Okay.
So I don't know. We'll see.
Well, let me know for sure on Tuesday what you're doing.
Okay.
If we need a hookup, we have a hookup.
What, for which?
For both bands.
Okay.
We have a hookup for both bands.
All right.
So I'm sure, you remember I went and fucking hung out with Armored Saint, 2 months ago?
Well, I understand, but nobody got a better hookup with Armored Saint besides Bob.
That's true too. Yeah, I guess you don't need me to.
But Bob has included me into some emails back and forth saying that it's sold out, and he thinks that he doesn't want to be too much of an imposition because the wives and the girlfriends and the local family and
right.
all these people, and the whiskey is such a small club that it might be better if we see it at a bigger place on Friday.
Okay.
So we'll see.
All right. Well, one way or the other, we're going to get you in to go see those two bands.
Yeah, definitely. It's either Friday or Saturday.
Right. Okay.
So
all I'm saying is, if you need my help with it,
yeah, absolutely.
Not that it sounds like you probably don't, but if you do, I can certainly reach out to our friends at Rat Pack or whatever.
Sure. No kidding. All right. Well, we're going to talk to George Mahalovic here in about 4 or 5 minutes.
All right.
And Aftershock has a new CD out on Auburn Records.
Yes.
And the new CD is called Detonate, and this will definitely detonate you,
right?
Because it is a barn burner.
Nice.
All right. Do you have a song you would like to hear, sir?
I don't know any of the titles yet. I've been playing the shit out of it.
I think we should go with Forever in Metal.
All right. Then that is my favorite song on the album.
Yeah.
Yeah, pal.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, well, we're going to get George on the phone here in a couple of minutes, and we'll talk to George Mahalovic about the new Aftershock release. So here's something brand new to chew on. It's Aftershock with Forever in Metal exclusively here
on your classic metal show.